Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your mayor, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by my co-mayor, Sergio. Today, we talk about the Nintendo Switch online service coming later this month, a bit about Pocket Camp, features from Animal Crossing New Leaf, and we give you details for our next live show. So, hi Sergio, how you doing?
Hello, Chewy. I'm doing great. What about yourself?
I'm doing great. Super excited. Like I feel like I say this every week, but it's getting harder and harder to come up with topics. But then last minute, I think of something. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm really excited about talking about the online features. So I guess let's just get started with that. So online features in Animal Crossing. That's kind of what I labeled this, but we are gonna talk about kind of later this month. Nintendo is finally launching a paid online service, and this is the first time that they've ever done this. And so I'm pretty interested to see what it's going to be like, what experience we're going to have on there, and just in general, how it's going to be different from what we already have,
Right.
So just to be, I guess, as specific as Nintendo has been,
Right.
this online service is coming the second half of September. So we are officially in the first half of September. So later this month, we're going to be seeing this for the first time. I guess from that point, we'll have to pay to be online,
Right.
What games do you play online right now?
A lot of Rocket League and still some Splatoon 2 here and there, so I'm definitely gonna need the service.
Yeah, that's where I am too, where I know I play a ton of Splatoon, so it just doesn't make sense for me not to get it.
Right.
Let me give you all some details about the online service, specifically how much we're going to be paying. So if you want just 1 month of the online service, it's $3.99, so $4 for a month, which that's not bad for a subscription fee,
Right.
Mm-hmm. So think of Netflix. I don't even know what the price is for that at this point, because I pay for Hulu and then I borrow my friend's Netflix. So we kind of split the cost that way, but whatever the price of Netflix is, that's what you pay every month. They don't really do they have 3-month deals or a year-long deal at all?
I don't believe so. I think it's just monthly.
They should fix that. I think a lot of people would opt for just the year-long deal, but
Right.
at the same time, I'm sure they'll see that cut into costs because I'm sure a lot of people have Netflix at this point and just pay it month by month,
Right,
and they're
right.
fine with that. So anyways, 1 month is $3.99, 3 months is $7.99, a year is $19.99, so you get a whole year for $20, which is just a third of the price of competitors,
Yes.
right?
That's right.
So you have what's the PlayStation Online called? Is it PS Plus?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so that is $59.99, right? So
Yes.
$60. And then Xbox Live is also $59.99. And those are pretty bulky types of features, they've got a lot going on with them. But, it doesn't seem like Nintendo is offering as much, but the price point is definitely much, much lower.
Yes.
And then finally, their last pricing plan is a family plan, which is $34.99, so $35 total. And up to 8 Switches can be on this family plan. Well, not Switches, it's actually accounts, right?
Right.
And these accounts can be tied to different Switches. I think they went with the number 8 because that's how many different accounts you could have on a single Switch. So, if I made a different profile for, a Japan region, just because I want to check out the Japanese eShop, I would then be able to use online features if I also connected that to my family plan.
Right.
So if you have 8 friends and you want to split $35 among those 8 friends, I think the price for a year comes out to $4 and like 38 cents
Right,
roughly.
right,
So that's not a bad price.
right.
Um, of course, we don't know exactly how the family plan is going to work, what types of limits it's going to have. Um, I think it would be silly for it to have limits where you can't use online like outside of your household, like it's tied to your IP address or something.
Hmm.
Just because like, the Switch is a portable system. There's like people are it's designed to be taken other places. So if you go to
Yes.
your friend's house and all of a sudden you can't play online because you're not at your home, that's not the way it should work?
Right, right. Or even worse, if they say only one account of those eight can be online at a given time, that would be
Oh.
very, very limiting.
Yeah, that would destroy me.
Yeah.
Especially like, Nintendo's goal, which is pretty ridiculous, but they essentially have said that they want every single person to have a Switch.
Right.
Not like every single gamer, but every single person, which is insane.
Right.
Um, but with that in mind, like if they are going for that goal, then let's say a 6 person family has, and they all have their own switches. So that's 6 switches right there,
Hmm.
right? It's not going to be acceptable for only one of them to be able to play online at a time.
Right.
Like they're gonna want to join the same Mario Kart lobby online and play with other people like in their family, maybe somewhere far away. I don't know, but it just can't be limited like that.
Right.
So I'm hoping the family plan works out so everybody can play online whenever they want to. Because it just doesn't make sense to limit it that way.
Yes.
And if it does work, you're looking at $4.38 a year to play online.
Right. And
Which,
I
yeah, go
just
for it.
think Nintendo wants to promote the family plan, and hopefully, we'll find out they have some sharing and content features that are geared for this plan, and that's why it's so cheap, and it's gonna be the main one they're gonna promote, I think.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be like the plan to get. I know for me right now, I already have like 4 people that I'm going in on this
Nice.
with, so it's already going to be really cheap for me to play online. I mean, it's cheap now because it's $0, but really, $4.38 isn't unreasonable.
Right, right.
So the next thing that people want to know about the online, I guess, program are the features. And so I took these really quickly, the bullet points from their like kind of outline on the website, but
Mhm.
they have online play, obviously, 20 NES games, which, come on, please give us more than just NES games.
Yes.
Save data cloud backups. That's going to be huge. I think that's a big seller for it.
Yes.
But I also think people are like, why lock that behind a paid service? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the people who's going to pay for it anyways, just because I have to play online.
Yes.
Um, but anyways, I'll continue. So then there's access to the Nintendo Switch Online app, which we all have access to right now. And if you've used it at all, you probably just play Splatoon because that's the only thing that's available on there.
Right.
And then they have this last little thing that I'm pretty interested about, but it's special offers. And these are offers just for people who pay for that online service.
Yes.
So I guess, what do you think of the online service so far?
It's interesting. We have used it for Splatoon 2, and I really like what it does for the most part. There's some limits, and as soon as it came out, there were even more. So they have been improving it, but I really like how it keeps track of all the stats that you can possibly want, and it makes it very easy to share your record with other Splatoon 2 players and your favorite stages. It keeps track of how much you played and everything. So I think it's gonna be more of that, and for pretty much every game that is big enough to have its own hub type of area. So I expect a lot of good things. The special offer sounds really interesting. Exactly. It could be deals, it could be some exclusive content as well.
Yeah, I just have no idea what they're gonna give us, but I am hoping that it's good.
Yes.
Um, I don't mind seeing more deals pop up for Nintendo games. I know it's pretty rare for a Nintendo game to go on sale. Typically, they'll have like an E3 sale, but since the Switch has come out, there has been none of that so far. So it's been two E3s with the Switch and still no
Hmm.
Nintendo, like huge sales.
Right.
There kind of was for, I forget what it was for, but I think ARMS was on sale. Breath of the Wild might have been on sale for a little
A
bit.
little bit, right.
Yeah, but really, it's really rare for these games to be priced at a lower point, you know?
Yes.
So I wouldn't mind that at all. For me, I'm definitely getting this just because I played Splatoon 2 for like a couple hours today, so
Hmm.
I'm clearly gonna get my money's worth playing just because I play online a lot.
Yes.
And I know I said I want to see more than NES games, but right now I kind of don't mind. I think a lot of people see this as a pain point for themselves just because they have bought NES games in the past. They've owned maybe an NES, maybe they bought the NES Classic,
Yes.
maybe they have gotten it through the Virtual Console in the past. But me, I've never done that. Have, I think, just one NES game, the original Metroid.
Oh.
And I think I got that for free from Club Nintendo
Oh, yes. Right.
yeah. So I don't own a lot of these games, and I haven't played a lot of, well, I've played some of them, but a good portion of them I haven't. So
Hmm.
for me, it'll be an experience that I enjoy and I like.
Nice.
Especially because they're gonna have like online play, like you'll be able to play with friends and family on those games specifically.
Yes.
And then what I do hope is that the app adds a lot more than just Splatoon. Because right now, Splatoon 2 is the only thing on the app. And
Hmm.
I'm like, where are the other games? Like, this isn't the only game we can play online. Why isn't this app compatible with the other games and giving you stats about all your other things? Like,
Yes.
I guess I just want to see that part of the app grow, but I don't know how it's all gonna live on that one place, you know?
Hmm.
Um, it seems like it'll get crowded pretty soon, especially after, I don't know, 5 years of Nintendo Switch. Like, how many games are gonna
Right.
be represented on that app? It's gonna be crazy.
Right.
Um, the thing I'm pretty excited about though is the cloud backups. And it's mostly because my Switch fan has been like freaking out, like it buzzes
Oh,
pretty loud.
yes.
And I want to send it in for repairs, but my brother, when he got his Switch, he had this problem like right away with his launch Switch, right? And so he sent in his Switch, and instead of repairing it, he's pretty sure they just sent him a new Switch.
Hmm.
And so he lost all of his save files.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to wait for this cloud backups to show up so I can at least save some of my games, if not all of them,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then I can get my fan repaired because it kind of scares me that it's so loud.
Right.
But yeah, I guess outside of that, I'm just wondering what the special offers are. I'm excited to see more from that.
Yes. Right. And it makes sense that the backup saves are gonna be part of this paid service. It takes money to organize all that and to keep that data available for Nintendo and for you to back them up. Even the other companies, they provide that service through the paid services. So yeah, it would be nice if you were able to do it without having to pay, but also that would open the doors to piracy and potential cloning of items like in Animal Crossing or things like that. So, we don't want to get into those issues.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like people always find a way to do that stuff,
Right, right, right,
regardless. But it definitely would make it easier.
right.
So I guess what kind of online functionality do you want to see in Animal Crossing Switch? Let's talk about Animal Crossing. Like, if we're getting an online service that we're paying for, what would be something that you want to be able to do with that in Animal Crossing?
Yeah. Oh, there's so much potential there. But so right off the bat, I'm trying to think of cool things to do online. One that I would like is to be able to visit dream towns together, like with someone else, like in multiplayer type of thing. We could both go to the same dream town, and if we felt like it, we could cause havoc there because again, it's just a dream. So yeah, like I would like to see that option.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was one of the best things they added, um, especially because once a week I've been going to Dream Towns,
Right.
just because that's when I do my weekly updates, I go and look at a Dream Town, and it's so much fun seeing what other people are doing with their towns and with their rooms. So I love that.
Right. And then another one, and we have discussed this one heavily on previous episodes, is having some big towns or cities that are sort of shared, and a lot of players can go at any given time, and they could be based on real world locations, and they could have special events or special items or special places. So yeah, that would definitely be part of the online, and I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I definitely want to see that type of thing show up.
Yeah. As far as the application itself, it would be really nice to have a really easy and really quick way to add friends to your system and to share your town details. Here's my player card. It has my town name, my mayor name, how many hours I played, what my fruit is, um, what my ordinance is in case they keep that or they expand on that. So it would be a really cool way to add to your friends list, and then they get all the details about you as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. I think it's always fun to see like how much time you've spent on a game or what. I guess
Right.
when you kind of run into characters, like you can see their like town pass. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Their like passport type of thing. And I loved looking at that and seeing what badges people had.
Ooh, yes.
Um,
Hmm.
I always love that. Oh, I can't wait to see what kind of badges we can get in the next one.
Right.
um, yeah, but that's a side thing. I'll let you keep telling me about what you want to see.
So I thought of this cool one. It could be like a service. If you have really good turnip prices a certain time of day, you could send an alert to your friends. People could say, yes, I'm open to alerts because I'm looking to sell turnips. And if you have a really good price, you could send the alert to your friends. And that's like saying, I'm open for you guys to come over and sell your turnips.
Yeah, definitely. I would love that because
Right,
that'd just be so much easier to do.
right.
Um, there's so many steps you have to take to contact people and be like, what are your turnip prices? Just let me know and we'll play or something.
Right, right. And,
um,
and you could set it to whatever you consider high. Like, oh, if it's anything over 300, send out the alert to my friends.
yeah, definitely. I know there are like invite features available on Splatoon 2, like that part of the app.
Yes,
Um, I guess I wonder if that'll be something that could be integrated into the app too.
right.
Yeah, so I'd like that.
Yeah. And part of that would be, of course, voice chat and having it work well and having it work seamlessly. Yeah, we need that for Animal Crossing.
Definitely. And I guess the one disappointing thing is like it is voice chat right now is locked through the app, and the only game that we've been able to use it with is Splatoon. And so I'm just hoping this all gets integrated into a better system once I guess the full online app comes out. But
Yes.
right now, I don't know. I guess I still feel like I'm just gonna opt for using Discord.
Yes, right, right.
Just because I'm like, well, I don't know. I already have to use a device. I might as well use the one that I can charge better and will last longer with the battery that
Yes,
I have. Um, yeah, because I just feel like my phone's just gonna die.
right.
Yeah. For me, I guess I'd love to see. I was talking about Street Pass, and we'll kind of get into the 5 features from New Leaf that I picked this past week. But
Mhm.
I talked about Street Pass as one of them, and then I had a thought like, we still have Spot Pass features too, where it's not like a
Yes,
Street Pass. It's like if you're connected to an internet, or if you just have an internet connection, you get some special data sent to your game. So I feel like that's still possible on the Switch. Like even if we don't have Street Pass, it would be great to say sign up for a Spot Pass function for the Happy Home Showcase, and when you are connected to the internet, it'll send you like, I don't know, 5 homes that you can go and explore,
yes,
and you can save them and buy items from them and do all the same kind of things. But yeah, if we're not going to have Street Pass, like we need to at least have that type of thing. So that
right,
would work
right.
through the internet. Um, the other thing I would like is, I guess I like the island stuff that we can do.
Hmm.
I'm really pushing, or I'm really hoping that Nintendo makes more than just like the island and does a bunch of different little areas where we can go and explore and, play mini games and that sort of thing. But I'd really like to still have the ability to just go to random places online, like in Club Tortimer.
Hmm. Yes,
I know that place got a little kind of weird for a lot of people. You don't. It's a very weird experience, but I thought it was a cool idea, and I would like to see it, just be pulled off better.
yes, right, right.
Yeah. So I guess my last question about the online is. Do you think that we're going to get a Nintendo Direct on this service in the next couple of weeks?
Yes, definitely. And I think a bit hint about that was because Nintendo at first said, you're gonna get the online service in September, and then a couple of months ago they said, oh, it's gonna be in the second half of September. I think that means in the first half we're gonna get the details, and more likely than not, it's gonna be a direct. And I think we need to because there's so many questions, so many very generic details. We need to know the specifics, I think, and especially Nintendo wants the people that are going to be paying to get the specifics because a lot of people are not too sure why this is happening, and it would be nice for Nintendo to clarify and to say exactly what's coming from day one and also what's coming in the future and when, because this could be a cool thing to keep updated, and it would be nice for Nintendo to explain how they plan to do that.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. It's just like we have so many questions that they haven't answered about this, so it's totally worth going over.
Yes.
I'd say for me, the reason I think Nintendo really needs to have a Nintendo Direct on the online service is that this is the first time Nintendo is going to be charging players to play online. And I still see people, they're like upset about that. And
Yes.
totally, it's reasonable because right now we are at over a year with the Nintendo Switch out. And so people are getting pretty used to playing online for
Yes.
free.
Right.
Um, this took them way too long to bring out. I know their first goal was to have it by the end of 2017. Now
Hmm.
we're in the last like quarter of 2018 when this is coming
Right.
out. That's insane to me. Um, so I think what they really need to do is have a Nintendo Direct that really details what is going into it because right now everybody is coming in pretty skeptical. Um, I
Yes.
think I'm not too skeptical just looking at the price. I'm like, okay, so this is like the budget online service. It's not going to blow our minds, but it needs to be at least pretty good, you know?
Yes, right.
I wouldn't mind also like if they added tiers to the online. Say this
Mm.
base tier gives you those 20 NES games. I would pay $60 if it gave me a whole library of NES
Yes,
through like Wii games, right?
right.
Easily the best $60 you could spend
Yes.
because just thinking of having Animal Crossing from GameCube on my Switch, that is blowing my mind.
Right, right. And being able to stream it and to let people sort of borrow your controller online, that would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be too cool. So I'd say in the future, they could probably pull that off. Like if they do find a
Mm.
way to emulate games more effectively on the Switch, then yeah, introduce other tiers, and I'd gladly upgrade to that.
Yes,
Because
right.
that seems worth it to me. Like having such a massive library of games just readily available for you to jump into and play,
Hmm.
amazing. Especially, I'm just thinking because we have not had like GameCube Virtual Console at all, and I'm just thinking like Mario Kart Double Dash with online capabilities,
Ooh,
bringing that game back, that would be insane.
yes,
It
yeah.
would it would just be crazy. That needs to happen. I'm so into it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna move on from this topic. I know there's so many things that we need to know about the online features, and I'm super excited to see just what comes of it because I know at this point, like I'm buying it, like
Right.
I have to. Like it's not even like I have to be sold on it or anything. It's just that I play a lot of Splatoon, and that game is basically just online.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's move on. I have returned to Pocket Camp, and I'm not
Nice.
returning in full force. I am returning pretty casually. And by casually, I mean I'm playing like once to twice a day.
Okay,
And
that's nice.
yeah, so I'm trying to take it easy. I'm not. I feel like last time when I played, my biggest complaint the whole time was that it was just too demanding for me.
Hmm.
Because my phone is not the best. I have some slow load time, so I just found that every time I played Pocket Camp, it took like an hour to do everything, right?
Right, right, right.
So now I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I will play maybe twice a day. I'll do tasks on one of those, maybe both, but definitely one just to like keep getting some more materials, some more money so I can build things. But yeah, I think what helps is that I've taken a long break and I've missed out on a lot of items at this point, and I'm like
Hmm.
no longer a completionist about playing this game.
Right.
So now I feel like, oh, cool, I can just play this for a little while. There's a little gardening event going. I'll go see if I've got bugs on my in my place, and then
Right.
I'll catch them and share them, and do the whole gardening stuff.
Right, right.
And I'm like, cool. Well, that was fun. I'm gonna go do something else now. Yeah, so I guess I'm having a good time playing it casually and not feeling like I have to get everything.
Right, right. And I'm sure it must be nice to take a look at the little improvements that they have keep adding to it, and they add up. It seems like the game is much better now.
Yeah, the main thing that I've noticed recently since coming back is that we have a new interface with the goals. So you remember the daily goals that we had?
Yes.
So they kind of changed it up. Now you have more than just like three daily goals.
Mm.
There's like a few sets of like two or three goals at this point. Um, I think it's three, but I don't know. I
Mm.
didn't pay close enough attention. But each time there's kind of checkpoints involved. So you complete two of these goals, you get one bigger prize. And then you go to the next page and you complete those goals, and then you get a bigger prize again. And then you'll go to the last page and you complete those goals and you get the biggest prize, right?
Mm.
Um, and so they kind of did that with the events too. And so for example, I'm doing like the gardening type of goals right now,
Hmm.
and I've hit, I think it was something like 5 to 7 little tasks that you have to complete to get that big prize. And the big
Hmm.
prize was like 5 leaf tickets or something like that. um, but I can those the goals escalate each time you pass a new checkpoint. So
Mm.
you'll get that big 5 leaf ticket goal, and then it resets, and now you've got a whole nother set of tasks to go through.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of how the new goals interface works. And that
Hmm.
was the main thing that I found was new in the game, and I'm liking it. It feels more task oriented, more
Mm.
interactive for players, I think.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. It is tempting, I have been tempting to go back as well. For example, during my lunch, I find myself with more free time on my phone, and I think, oh, well, it's because I used to play Pocket Camp, and
Hmm.
that would have taken that time. It is tempting, and I recently downloaded the soundtrack of the game, and it's always reminds me of. I had an overall good time with it, but at the same time, I kind of want to stay fresh for the Animal Crossing Switch.
Oh yeah. Just
Right.
imagine your lunch breaks with Animal Crossing Switch.
Oh,
It's gonna be the best.
yeah.
I
I'm
know
gonna eat in 5 minutes and then just play the game.
exactly. Exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how can I eat the fastest way possible? What type of meal do I need to make that I'm done in 5 minutes and just get another 55 to play Animal Crossing?
Yes.
Because that needs to be my life.
Right.
Um, yeah, I guess outside of that, I've noticed there are some new amenities that I need to build. When I fell off, I kind of didn't finish the amenity, like I think it was the hip
Um.
amenities that were coming
Yes.
out. Yeah, so at that point, I kind of gave up and I was like, I'm done with this game. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, cool. This seems pretty fun to try and build. And
Mm,
so, yeah, I like the new amenities
nice.
and I like being casual about it.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm.
yeah, it's a demanding game when you try to play it to completion.
Right. Right. I'm sure it's a different approach that you have, and I do keep up with video game news on some blog sites, and I do notice whenever they add things. So, if they add anything related to KK Slider, I'm there. And also, I'm waiting for Hazel. As soon as she's there, I gotta go see her and add her to my campsite.
Yeah, of course. You got to invite your favorite villagers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm also like looking at the list of villagers that are new for me, and I'm like, oh,
Right.
there's some pretty good ones in here. I'm gonna definitely try to woo them over to my campsite.
Right.
Yeah, so anyways, let's move on from Pocket Camp and talk New Leaf, which is, I like to call it Old Leaf at this point. um, but last Friday, I made a video that covered 5 features from New Leaf that I want to see make a return in Animal Crossing Switch. So, real quickly, I'll go over those 5 features. The first one was kind of a combination, but it was mayor slash public works projects.
Mhm.
At first, I was just gonna say mayor, but I'm like, oh, well, the whole point of being mayor was so you can build things. So,
Yes. Right.
the next one was sharing town with the Dream Suite, which we kind of mentioned earlier, but
Mhm.
that was a great feature. The third I said was QR codes, and by this I meant designing clothing, making a QR code for the clothing, and sharing those online or like all over the place.
Yes.
The fourth one was legwear and footwear because New Leaf introduced pants to the game. We always wore shorts before then, but now we've got some pants.
Right.
Which I know you wear a lot of shorts, but I wear a lot of pants. And then footwear, of course. We did in City Folk get the ability to change our shoes, sort of. The
Yes.
kicks
Right.
would give us a new sleek shine. But in this game, we got a whole array of different footwear.
Right.
And then the last one was StreetPass, which I also kind of talked about earlier. but StreetPass was a feature where you would pass people and then their home would show up in the Happy Home Showcase up in the north.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess I always like to check in with you and see what you would like, or what you liked from the list and what you would like to see come back from New Leaf.
Right, right. In for this in this instance for New Leaf, I definitely agree with all of your choices. I just had more ideas on how they can be improved in New Leaf. For example, for being major in having the public works projects, yeah, it's gonna be awesome to have, for example, things like the amenities from Pocket Camp. It would be like bigger public works projects. They might take more space or more money to build, but definitely a part of that as well has to be more freedom in where you place them, and more interactions from the villagers with the public works, kind of like they do in Pocket Camp. I think it's just a natural carryover from the mobile game.
Yeah, and you said something pretty interesting for me. You talked about freedom in placing public works projects. I think the
Yes.
entire interface of placing public works projects needs to be revamped. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I found it so annoying walking around talking to Isabel, and she's like, "No, you can't build stuff here. Don't be dumb."
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
"Well, how am I supposed to know? Like, I don't. There's no. I don't know. There's no easy way to see where you are placing something. You know?"
Yes, and sometimes it feels so limiting because it was very minor things that she would say, "Oh, there's a tree over here," or "It's too close to the plaza," even though it really wasn't, or "There's a rock that for some reason we cannot demolish." So, more freedom is gonna be welcome for sure.
Yeah, rocks need to be public works projects. Like, I don't know. Let us demolish
Yeah.
those and build them somewhere else, at least.
Right.
um,
Right.
but yeah, I agree. I just want to see way more things that we can make, a lot more control over our town. I think it's got to strike a good balance of the town feeling pretty good when you get in, but you can see like all the possibilities. Because I would also not like if we were just thrown into essentially a sandbox and we had to build it from nothing, you know?
Right. Mhm.
Because I think that's the charm of your Animal Crossing town when you first make it. You're like, oh, this is the place where I moved to, and it already exists, and
Yes.
now I'm here, and I'm gonna help it exist even better.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a good angle.
yeah, I agree with that.
Nice. So, your second choice was the sharing town with the Dream Suite, and I have talked in the past that I feel like I heavily neglected this feature. So, if it does come back, and I hope it does, and I think it should, for sure I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna definitely make up for it this time. And I had an idea to make it even better. What if you could go to a dream town, wherever, and the town itself had a goal that whoever uploaded the town, they set up the goal. For example, find a fossil or find a hidden piece of fruit that I hid somewhere on purpose, things like that, or like talk to four different villagers. So it could be an easy goal or a very challenging one. Like I think it would just be like a little extra addition to exploring the town, and you could get a cool reward too. And I think the person that uploads the town, they could decide what your reward is as well.
That sounds really fun. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because I'd say it's kind of disappointing going to a dream town and I don't know. When you first start, you're running into just a bunch of dream towns of people who have just kind of just started the game. So it's not incredibly
Hmm.
developed, but and then you leave and you're like, oh well, that was all right. I can kind of see the appeal. um,
Right.
but yeah, I think it'd be way fun to have some sort of goal in the dream, and that way you're rewarded at least for, just visiting a town. Because right now you pay your 500 bells, it's pretty cheap, and then you go see a town, and then you get out, and that's kind of it. The
Right.
reward in itself is seeing the other town, but when there's nothing to see in the other town, like it would help to have like another little thing that you can do there.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Your third choice was the QR codes, and on this one, I definitely agree with you. It would be nice to have a combined system where you scan a QR code and you get the whole outfit instead of just one piece of clothing at a time. Like they could be like the cowboy outfit, and you just kind of single QR code, and boom, you have all the parts of the outfit are already good to go. I think that would be nice.
Yeah. And then also, like, I addressed this, but like, we're not going to get QR codes. So it's going to be like a different kind of code. Um, I really wonder what they'll come up with because I feel like we need this type of feature to exist just because when I think of the basics of Animal Crossing, I know that they think of Animal Crossing as a communications game. Like it's a game where you can communicate with people, and part of those things is being able to trade your designs, trade your creations, make sure you can share them in some way. And so the Switch doesn't have a camera. We can't use QR codes without a camera. So there just needs to be some other type of code that we can put into the game and essentially get a special piece of clothing that somebody made.
Right. I wonder. There's like a sort of like a type of camera on the right Joy-Con. I wonder if they could use that enough, to kind of. It might not be a QR code like you said, but they could do like some type of animation. That sounds like a really Nintendo-like thing that they would do.
Yeah, yeah, you are right. There is like the IR camera. I wonder if it would work.
Right, right. I hope they can make it work.
Yeah, and I think the hard thing is like I'm probably like if I'm on my TV, I'm gonna be playing with the Pro controller, and
Yes, that
that
too.
doesn't have an IR camera, does it?
Right.
Yeah, no.
No. Mhm.
So I would have to like reach over, like get up, go get my right Joy-Con, and then point at whatever QR code I'm getting.
Right.
So yeah, I wonder how they'll handle that. I really want to. I just can't wait to see it.
Right, right. They could maybe you could share a town tune in the way you input it. That's it's like a passcode, and you unlock the outfit.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Right. So your fourth choice was legwear and footwear, and I'm all for that. I think, like you said, since this was the introduction, it's a little limited on the items that you get. Different pants, different shorts. I think we're gonna be getting a lot more. I want to see a shorts version of all the pants that you can get. And I think, I mean, it sounds a little bit silly. I don't know if they would do this, but I think it would be nice to have an option to say, well, I just want to wear the left shoe and just a sock on on the right foot, or just mix and match different types of shoes because, that's something you could do in real life. I don't know why you would, but it would be nice to do it in real life.
Yeah, and maybe not shoes, but like socks at least, like which I mean I
Right.
still don't do, but I know a lot of people just like they can't make a pair of socks to save their lives, so they just wear whatever socks they grab. And yeah, so I think I think as far as options go, why not?
Right, right, and make the each villager more unique, if you wanted to go that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Last but not least, your fifth choice was Street Pass. And for sure, we discussed that the replacement might just be some type of spot pass, and we could get houses or gifts from people in our friends list. I had a potential idea. I don't know if this can be done, but if Nintendo could implement sort of a Street Pass with the mobile app. For example, we always have our phones with us. Let's say it's an Android phone, and once we're out and about, it's going to detect other Android phones that have the Animal Crossing Switch app, and that could work like Street Pass, even if it's locked to either just Android or just iOS. If they can do that, that would be a nice substitute for Street Pass. I just don't know if they would go that far.
That would be really cool. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. One thing that you said, I don't know why this triggered it, but I just had a realization. You know what? It was Spot Pass, and it was because of the Swap Note game on the 3DS.
Yes.
What if we could send letters to our friends via Spot Pass?
Oh yes. Oh, we need that.
Because
Yes.
I want to be able to send letters and, put
Yeah.
an item in there and make it all cool. And
Oh,
yeah, that would be the coolest thing that you could do.
yes.
And then that way you can send somebody an item without having to go over there. They just wait a little bit.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And then it also comes in the mail. Everybody loves getting mail.
Yes.
I learned that from Animal Crossing. People love getting mail.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah, that would be one thing I definitely want to see with that. But yeah, that's a really cool idea. I didn't even think of like StreetPass working through the mobile app. Um,
Right. That'll be another reason for people to pay for the service too.
that'd be worth it for me. I love
Yeah.
the StreetPass games. Yeah, I just love it. I need it.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess did you have anything else to say about anything that we've talked about today?
No, I think it's good, and it's nice to keep involved in Animal Crossing and still exploring different features from all the games. New Leaf, Pocket Cap, etc. That we want to see carry over, and we're just waiting patiently, sometimes a little bit impatiently, for news. We just want news.
Yeah, and this Friday I'm putting out the next video, which is going to be on Happy Home Designer. And when I think of Happy Home Designer, I think like, wow, this was like a crazy game. It was the first spin-off title from Animal Crossing.
Right.
And it just came at a time where it was like, what? We're kind of waiting for the next Animal Crossing game on Wii U. And so
Right.
it's weird. I think a lot of people skipped over it, and a lot of people who did get it, it wasn't quite for them. But I still thought there were a lot of fun features to it, and I there's still things in that game that I'm like, that needs to be in the next one. And
Yes, for
so
sure.
each game, since I've been looking at all of them kind of in depth, they all have some type of features that I'm just like, yes, definitely, give me that.
Right.
So yeah, I will always just stop and think like, I cannot wait to see this next Animal Crossing and what they're doing.
Yes. Yes.
It's good. It's too exciting. And speaking of exciting, we are going to do another live show. It's been a while since we've done a live show. I don't remember when we did the last one. Do you?
I want to say. Oh, I think it was in 4th of July. Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's early July was the last one. We've
Mhm.
skipped the month of August, and now it's early September. So I think it's a good time. So we want to give you all some details. If we update these, we'll let everyone know. But right now, we are looking at Monday, September 10th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That is 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Central,
Mhm.
and 10 p.m. Eastern. So we do have some time zones for the UK. So the UK, that's 3 a.m., very late or very early in the morning, if anybody wants to listen. And then 4 a.m. in Germany. And I'm sure with those, you'll be able to find out when. Usually, I guess we've tried to do live shows kind of in the morning-ish time so
Mhm.
everybody can join in. It works better for most time zones when we do it in ours in the morning. But this one, I'm getting back from a trip, so that will be the time that I can do it before that next Tuesday episode has to come out.
Yes.
And I think you made a note here, but it's a special episode because it is just before Haken's 1 year anniversary.
Right.
um, insane. I can't believe we've been doing this podcast for almost a year now.
Yeah. It's awesome. Oh, but for sure, we're trying different times because we actually personally know some listeners that work the night shift. So even if it's a different type of hour system that we're doing this time, it might work for them. So we're just trying different things, and we'll always keep trying different hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's good to do for us. Because
Yes.
now that we've met a lot more people on Discord, like there are people all over the place, and that is so exciting for me.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that so many Animal Crossing fans are everywhere, all over the world, and so excited to just share the Animal Crossing experience with us. So I love it. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and I can't believe it's been 1 year and they haven't announced the next Animal Crossing game. What
I
is this,
know.
Nintendo? Come on. You can't let us down. We have a podcast to run here. um, yeah, and for anybody wondering, like we're for sure going to keep this podcast going after the next Animal Crossing game comes out. Like I we just have so much to talk about and so much to do all the
Yes.
time. So
Yes.
it doesn't make sense to stop then.
No, no.
So, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to be part of the conversation on all things Animal Crossing, join the Discord. I have a link in the description of this podcast. It's totally free to join. You don't have to be a patron, and if you do join, you can get Sergio and my friend codes. If you do want to become a patron, visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. For just $1, you can support our show and get tons of cool things. You get early access to my weekly updates and my friend code on Switch. Sergio is also working on some cool art projects. If you think you'd like that, talk to Sergio. And anybody who is already a patron and you want something cool made, talk to Sergio.
Yes, for sure.
And we're trying so hard to make this worth it. I say this every week. I need to do more for the patrons because I truly appreciate the support, and I'm hoping I'm getting closer because pretty soon I'm gonna have a good live stream set up for this place. So it's kicking. Things are moving. And if you're watching or listening on YouTube, leave a comment about some features you would like to see for Animal Crossing Switch via the Nintendo Online app. Or list some of your favorite features from New Leaf that you would like to see make a comeback. And please leave a review of the show wherever you're listening. It helps the show gain some visibility and allows our community to grow. And once again, thank you all so much for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.